Okay. Share in a group. This is where I have to concentrate because otherwise I'd be live streaming this whole thing into my personal Facebook page. That would be embarrassing. And I heard from Birgit everything was okay. She was taking care of her niece, so she just couldn't get back in time.
Okay.
David Werner. I tried to do a book review in the in our page today. Did that show up? Like a Facebook Live? Did you guys see that?
I saw this.
Okay, it did.
I saw my book on Facebook.
Yes, but was it a like was I thumbing through it? Was I actually demonstrating it? Okay.
Yes, I like it.
Okay. Okay, here we go. We're going live. Okay, I think that's working now. It's live in Dynamic Readmaker. Okay, that looks good. Goodness gracious. Hi, Maria. And Abby's here. And Angelika. Look how the so punctual.
Hello.
Okay.
So punctual because we couldn't wait.
So exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're waiting just for Birgit, but I'm assuming she will find her way in also. Participants, we have 8 participants. Birgit is not on the list yet. I'll go ahead and introduce David. Hopefully you saw the review. This is David Werner, and I've asked him to join us because he is wait a minute, we got to get some people muted here. Can you all mute yourselves, please? Thank you.
Have we?
There you go. Okay. Yeah. So I invited David here to join us because he has written this marvelous book. And I didn't have a specific topic in mind because I don't know him very well until I got to spend time with him about this. But it was his idea to demonstrate the heated mandrel method. So welcome, David. We'll introduce ourselves briefly to you and then turn over everything to you. And I always go in the order of how you show up on my screen. So I'm going to start with Vic because you're in the top.
Hello, I'm Vic Houle. I'm in Ottawa, Canada. I play long scrape modern oboe, and I play long-ish scrape Baroque oboe as well. And I do make all my own reeds.
Perfect. Hello, Vic.
Maria, are you ready to go?
Hello, David. Maria Martinez from Colombia. I'm starting to play the Baroque oboe after not having played the modern oboe for many years, but I want to learn to make my own reeds, and I miss playing the oboe.
Oh, cool. Hello, Maria.
Beate? Wait, we gotta unmute you, Beate.
You're mute. You're mute.
Better? Yes. I'm Beate Bartones. I'm from Germany, near Koblenz, from the Middle Rhine Valley.
Ah, cool.
And I am playing Baroque oboes for several years. The most time with Jeanine. I learned with Jeanine. And I also tried to make my reeds myself.
Perfect.
She's good at it too. Abby?
Okay, my name is Abby Sage. I'm from the States, but I'm living in Stuttgart, in the Stuttgart area. I play the oboe, a long scrape, and I'm doing this to try to learn again to make reeds. I made them when I was a college student, but then I stopped, and they're hard to come by here in Germany. So I thought it would be better to make them.
Good. Hello.
Angelika.
Hello, I'm from Austria, from Linz, and I play short scrape.
Hello.
So technically we have
And
one other person, Birgit. So if she
Maria.
joins in later, we can introduce her.
Okay.
Can you hear us okay, David, on your...
Yes, I can hear. I don't see Maria at the moment.
I don't see her either.
Ah, but
There she
now
is.
Maria's back. Okay, no
She-
problem.
Maria, you said something, but we didn't hear you. If it's important, you'll have to unmute and come back on.
I've logged my video because I'm having breakfast.
Oh, yes.
Okay, no problem.
Yes, we're on 2 time zones only, which is practical. So we have Central European time and we have North American, basically East Coast time for
Yeah.
both of our North Americans, our Canadian and our Colombian American. Okay, the floor is yours, David. We're so excited.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I want to introduce you to the burning method. I think it's a little bit special because there are only a lot of oboists doing this. Who of you know this? Oh,
Oops.
oops.
You want to see everybody still? I'll fix it.
Okay.
I was trying to be helpful, but
No problem.
okay. Can you have if you click on gallery view, you can see everyone again.
Okay. I think Angelika, you did do this, the burning method, always, or just try always? Okay. Maybe you can tell me if you do it like me, or do you have another method? Because there are differences. Every oboist do it. I can show you 2 methods. One with a special heating mandrel. I have here for you. Maybe it's a little bit dark. Yes. A little bit sharper. Okay.
Yeah, that looks good.
It's a special heating mandrel, and one with the normal mandrel and an old staple without cork. That is better for trying, but when you do it every time or often, I think it's better when you build your own burning mandrel. I show you, or I explain you how you can build your own mandrel too after I showed you how to how to burn with the mandrel, how to do the method. At first, why do we do some oboists do this? I think it's very interesting because when you take the cane and do it on the staple, just a moment, you see that it's not perfectly fits on the staple. There's, you can see a little bit. Yes, now you can see it very good. It not perfectly fits on the staple, and when you do the binding, you force the cane to fit perfectly. And this force we can do with a heating. And the advantage is that you don't have the tension in the curve. You have only the tension from the staple to the opening, and not the tension in the curve. And another very interesting thing is that the reeds are perfectly with no leaking. My reeds are always without tape or something. I can show my reed case. And every reed is without clamp and without the tape, and it perfectly it's not leaking. I don't have leaking problems, and I think I tried this without heating, and it's very hard to get this, because when the cane meets on both sides, I can do a drawing. With heating, you have the opportunity that the cane is meeting like this, or in an American way, like this, when you do the, I think, wrapping, or is it the right word? I think. Genau. And when you do it without, it's a little bit, yeah, too hard. Then you have always a problem with leaking on these sides. I think this is a big, a big opportunity. Little bit joking. Okay. So let's start the burning.
David, one quick question as you
Yes.
that drawing there.
Yes.
So, if you wrap them so that one blade is inside the other, like your upper left hand drawing
Yes.
you had, do you have the issue that one blade has a different tension than the other?
Yes, I always do this. I always do this because I don't have the problem that after I build the reed, after I'm finished, that it goes out of the way.
Yes, I understand. But you don't have the issue that one blade has more springy opening than the other?
I have this. The blade on the top is a little bit more curved than the other one. I like this because then I have it always on the top side.
Okay.
Because then my sound is a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. That's great.
That's my thing. I think there are oboes. They turn it around. They have the lower, neither the bigger curve on the downside. I think then the sound is not so big, but maybe it's sometimes a feeling. But for me, it works very well. Maybe you can try it if it works for you. I think it's an embouchure thing. If you press from the down or you press from the upper lip more.
I feel like your method makes a lot more sense because it's we in the American school we often talk about putting the weaker blade on the bottom lip because that's where you have more possibilities. The top
Yes.
lip is more or less static, but
Yes,
the
I think
bottom
so
lip
too.
is more. So you want that exactly that, you know, the more tension at the top so it stays rigid anyway, and
Yes,
less
yes.
tension at the bottom because there's more that you can do with that bottom lip. Is
Yes.
so your
But
method.
I know oboists, they are doing it in the other way around, and they like it more in the other way around. So I think we can't say it's the right way like this, but I think
Yeah.
there are more oboists doing like this, with a more curved side on the upper lip.
Thank you.
Yes.
David,
Okay.
quick
Yes.
question. Without discussing the shape specifics, is your shape, especially where it comes to the staple, is it a wide shape, medium shape, or a narrow shape? What do you consider your?
I think I have a wide shape. I use Hörtnagel 17. I don't have the Tabelle, the thing here. I
Right.
don't have the measures here at the moment, but I think you can look it up. Maybe
Okay.
Jeanine can look it up for us. It's a wide thing. But you can do, I think the burning method you can do on everything. You do on every shape. You only have to look how wide you push the cane on the mandrel, I think. So at first, I think I can
Perfect.
show it
Thank you.
to you. I show it to you, and then I think there will be a lot of questions. I show it twice to you, once with the burning mandrel and one with this method, because you can try it easily at the first time, and you don't need to destroy a normal mandrel, because when you do this, you need to destroy a normal mandrel. So yes, let's start. At first, the cane must be wet, I think 15 to 20 minutes in water. This is very, ja, wichtig. Ich komme gerade nicht aufs Wort. Very, very. Jeanine, help me. I can't hear you, Jeanine. Important, yes. Oh, such an easy word. Okay, it's very important. So then we need something very hot. I have this. Here, I can show it. This is a very hard thing. I think an oil lamp is better for beginners. Yes. But I use this. It's yeah, faster, much faster. So maybe you can hear it now. I show it here. I heat the mandrel. I think maximum 10 seconds. On an oil lamp, you need more time. Don't glow it, only heat it a little bit. And then it must be wet. Can you hear the ch?
Yeah.
I have 2 marks on it. That's my experience. I had this, also I have marked it, how wide I put the cane on it. And then I have the clamp. I do it on the cane before. And then just easy, a little bit pulling, a little bit drilling. So don't close it. We need this. When there are on the one side closed, when it's on one side closed and on the other not, you can shift it a little bit. So you can shift it a little bit. Without burning, you can use this. And then you can see the difference now. It's so easy, but I think we can see it very good, the difference. Very important is the cane should not be brown or something, only a little bit warm, so that we can get the curve of the staple. We only want to get the curve of the staple. Okay, do this on the mandrel. And now it fits perfectly on the staple. And when we now do the binding, yes, then we don't have the problem that we force the cane too much on the staple. And we have here more curve on this way, and it closes more perfectly, and you have the advantage that there is normally no leaking when you do the binding in the right way. Well, maybe I can show it to you in a very short way, not exactly. Just a second.
Just while you're preparing that, I have a question, David, because many
Yes.
of us don't use the wire to tie. The American school, we generally learn to tie freehand. So
Okay.
my question is, where do you put the wire?
I put it on. You need you. Maybe I can show it to you. The wire is this the clamp, or what do you
Yes,
mind?
that's the wire. That's how do you know where to place that?
It's a little bit of feeling, or you can measure it.
Is it important where that wire is, or is there some, is it not so important that it's precisely at a certain point?
It's not so important because when I do it on the staple, I measure my length, how I do the binding. It's 74. Yes, 74. And after that, I want that there is 1 or 2 millimeters above the clamp.
Yeah, I see the staple is sticking up further than the
Now
wire.
you can see it very, very good.
Yeah.
Because then I do the binding over the clamp 2 times, I think. Maybe I can show it to you. Then I have the advantage that I can go a little bit around and that the reed is perfectly closing. I have time. I don't have to do, and then after I close the reed perfectly, I can do the clamp off. And that's the advantage. So that's not so important for me when I heat the mandrel that it's exactly. I do it like this. I make it a little bit wet and do the wire just a little bit that it's on and not going down.
Do you prepare the wire on a mandrel before you slide it onto the cane?
Yes, I do it like here. That's my measure. I think you can try it a little bit. I do it here, the wire. Maybe I can show it to you. It's very easy. Holding. 1 time around. I do it in the left way. You can do it in the right way too. It's not important.
I do it the left way too. I think that's so weird. I'm right-handed. Shouldn't we do it the other way? But I do it the left way.
I'm right-handed too. So 1, 2. And now I have the wire. It's very easy. Then you can put it over the cane.
Thank you.
Yes, that's
Question?
important because when you don't use it. Yes, Vic?
David, is that oboe wire or English horn wire?
I use this.
Okay, 035. Thank you.
I think not too weak is better. A little bit thicker is better than too thin, because when you pull it, it sometimes broke. That's not so good.
And you don't want it to cut into the cane either, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh. So I think it looks very easy with this mandrel, with this special mandrel. Maybe I can show it to you a little bit more detail.
Here it goes. Yeah.
Because the very special thing is the tip on top of the mandrel. It makes it very easy to put the cane. on.
Yeah.
So I have a method for you where you can try it first, because you don't want to destroy your normal mandrel, or you don't have an old one, maybe. Because you can do it on this. Maybe I explain why. You have the problem when you want the measures of the staple and you burn on this mandrel, you have to do it like this, and the mandrel is going too much in the inside, and you burn the cane here in the inside. And we don't want to heat the cane. We only want to heat the cane which are on the staple, because that cane don't vibrate. We only need this cane for holding the reed.
This makes sense to me.
This is the very important thing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of oboes who did do this on this mandrel. I think it works, but you have to be very, very careful that the mandrel is not too hot. Sometimes when you're a little bit, you heat the mandrels too long, then it burns here. It's not good, but it's not a catastrophe. It's not, you can use it. You can use the cane. But when you have the burning here, I think the cane is destroyed.
What is it? How does it destroy it? Because I agree with you, but what does it actually do? Do you know?
I don't know what's, I think when we heat it too much, we verändern, we change the cane too much.
Yeah, it takes out the juicy part that vibrates somehow.
Yes, and it's very dry than the cane here inside, because the juice is going outside because of the heating. So it's not good. So we can use an old staple. Put up the cork with a knife. That's no problem. Put it on the mandrel. And now we have the perfectly measures of the staple.
Two
It's not so,
questions. This is the same staple that you'll actually be using?
yes.
Just
You
stripped down. And the
you need
question.
you need the same staple, because then it perfectly fits. You can see it here. When we take another staple, it will not fit perfectly.
And the other question is, we couldn't see it. Your prepared mandrel is oval shaped, right? Or is it round?
Yes. Nee, it's an oval. I think you need a burning mandrel that it's like your staple, but it's not so important that it's the same mandrel like your staple. I think I think that was a present from Oboe in Schwerin when I was a student on the music school, and he gave it to me. I don't know the brand, because you can't buy at the moment a heating mandrel, because this method is a little bit, it's not so often done, I think, in Germany. I don't know a producer who sell these heating mandrels. Maybe you know somebody, but then tell it to me.
Angelika knows all kinds of people. Maybe Angelika knows who sells them.
I think no.
She's shaking her head.
So there's a possibility to build this on your own. I show it after the second method. So let's start. It's very easy too. Now let's look how it was. Right. Yes. Wet cane, very important. Just soak it again. Then oil lamp or gas lamp.
Can you guys see this? Can I use
Yeah. I think Aladdin lamp is better.
this is better. Is the oil because it gets so hot, like hotter than a candle? Like why wouldn't a candle work?
A candle rußt. Janine, please help me.
Say it
Was?
again.
Rußen. Ein
Husten.
Ruß von der Kerze. A
Oh, I need help.
candle.
Angelika? I don't know this word.
Is it the soot? The soot?
It makes
The
dirt.
black?
Yes,
Yeah,
it makes
the
blood.
soot.
Yes. Soot. Yes.
Oh,
I think
soot.
that's the right way.
Okay, yeah.
And that's why we use oil lamp or gas lamp. So here, maybe we can hear it. I do it on the speaker, the microphone. It's not so easy without.
I heard it.
So it works, but it's more easier on the heating mandrel. So same way, not close perfectly, because we want this to control the closing when we do the binding.
Do you measure it at this point also?
No, and don't measure it. When I think when you try it once, two, third, three times, then you can do a mark here. At the moment, that's my feeling because I do it so often.
Yes.
I think I think it's a little bit depend on your shape, because when you have a wide shape, you have to do it more down on the staple, and when you have a very thin shape, do a little bit on the other way. I think. Try it.
Wouldn't it be the other way around?
I think. Let me. Yes, you're right. The other way around. Okay, you're right. Thank you, Janine.
And so the how far you push it down onto the heated mandrel does have a relationship to the length that you will tie it. So that should be about 74 from the bottom of the staple, right?
Yes.
Approximately. Okay.
I think you have tried this, and when you have this, I think after 2-3 times you have this in feeling.
Yeah.
Then you can do the marking, and then you know it for yes, for the future. I think that's not the main problem for this method. And after that, doing the down, and it perfectly fits on the staple.
Looks so simple.
Yes, it is simple. It is very, very simple, and I think everybody can try this and look how it work on his own reads, and what it. I think it's very interesting what changes will come to your method. I think for me there are more vibrations in the reed, because I have only this tension of the opening to the staple and not the tension over the cane, because I press it with the binding over the staple. And that's, I think, is the opportunity for me. I have the feeling that it vibrates more, and I have no leaking, and I don't need a wrapping thing. And the wrapping thing is bad for the vibration too, I think. When you do something around the cane, it don't vibrate so good when you have nothing around it. I think that's clear.
Yes.
So, but we have to do this when we have a leaking reed. We can't play on that, and we have to do it. Maybe it's very interesting because I never did this with a large scraping and the American way. I think that's very interesting. If it work with American reed building, it would be interesting for me too. And I think American way, we have this, what I do it again. Like this, the American way. I think that would be very interesting if it works so good as it works like this way. Do you understand me, what I
Yes,
mean?
absolutely. I'm 100% sure it's gonna work, but we're gonna definitely try it out, right, guys?
Yes, it would be very, very interesting.
Look, he's
So,
already trying it. Did you see that? He held up one. He was already working on it.
oh, perfectly.
You're
Cool.
muted, Mick. If you're talking to us, we can't hear you. He's showing it though. He's got it all set up.
Oh, perfectly. So now the third thing, I want to show how you can build this. When you have an old mandrel which you don't use, you can take an Oboe mandrel, or you can take a cordon glass mandrel or a Oboe d'Amour mandrel. You have to measure out your staple.
Are you at the very tip?
Yes, I try it. It's not so important, the very, very tip, because we don't need to be so exact, because we can change it afterwards, how wide we go down with the cane.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so important. And then we do it on the mandrel, and then we see, oh, it's very wide. So I have the marking here, I think. And then we have to go a little bit up because we need a little tip. That's very important because we want to have this comfortable tip on it, that the cane is sliding very easily on it.
I can confirm that for sure. I did this burning method for a while, and I always had the flat, and you always had to sort of weasel it in. If you
Yes.
have that nice pointed tip, it just slips right on.
Yes, and then it's now very, very easy when you have this. So when you have when you like this method, first try if it works on your reeds, and when you like it, then maybe look for an old. I think Oboe's mandrels are very more cheaper than the English horn or Oboe d'Amour. Maybe you have an old one, you don't use it. And then, yes, after you have this, so first I do it again. The measure. You have this here. Plus, I think 3 millimeters. Then I do a mark here. And then you can cut it off here. You can use a normal metal saw. I think it's very easy to get. I think normal metal saw in the normal tool, you can cut it off. And after that, I take this. Jeanine, help me with the name, file.
Yes, a file, exactly.
A file, yes.
Yeah.
And then you can go very, very easily over it on the one side, then afterwards on the other side. And then from the right, like this, and then from the left. You can turn it around so you don't have to change the hands, because with the other hand it's very difficult. And do it, I think, for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, like it's you like it, like it's look very good. Very important is that you don't go over here, because this part we need, we don't want to change. We only want to change the part on the tip, only this 3 millimeters, we had more. We'll only do this like here. Then you can see afterwards you have this perfectly tip to slide the cane very easy. It's not so important to have the perfect measures here. It must be a little bit the same way, but not perfectly. I think it's not important that you, when you have maybe a Chiarucci staple, you don't need to buy another Chiarucci mandrel to build this one. You can buy the cheapest mandrel. It's only important when you have a round staple or an oval staple. When you have an oval staple, then use an oval mandrel. But when you have a round staple, then you have to use a round mandrel, I think. That's the only important thing. And then afterwards, you can do it very, very easy. Yes. So, do you have questions?
Yes, I do. Will you show us how you wrap the reed after you've mounted it onto the...
Yes, I can show it to you. Maybe another questions maybe for the heating method, and then afterwards I wrap 1 or 2 reeds.
Oh, look, Adam Shapiro's coming on. Look at this.
Maybe another questions maybe for the heating method.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes,
So Debbie, is this the method that you've used all of your oboe life, or did you use the traditional wet and then wrap method when you started, or did you start with this method?
I started with this method, but I tried other methods too. I tried it without heating, and I tried the method with the special clamp. I don't know how it calls. It's a metal thing, how you where you can put it inside and it clamps and it forces the reed in the right way.
It's like metal. This, right? Where
yes.
the cane goes in like that?
Yes.
Okay.
This I tried to, but it was not so perfect for me because of the leaking. The main thing for me is the leaking part, that I don't need something on my reed. That's so important for me because I'm very free with the vibrating. I can feel the pure cane. That's very important for me. When I have to do the leaking tape on it, I don't like the reeds so much. I only do this when I have to do this because I have no other reed. But every time when I tried this, maybe 1 or 2 hours, I put it off because I don't like this. Okay, now I show you the other thing. Okay, 74, a little bit more down. Okay. And now I have to, that you can see it very good. I put it on my table. I use an old pencil because I need it not to hurt my fingers. And now you see that now, okay. There are, I think, 1 or 2 millimeters, the staples inside.
Yes.
Over the clamp.
I knew Abby would like the pencil thing. I knew you'd like that, Abby.
I had to say that. I'm always cutting my fingers. And I ask them, everyone, how can I not cut my fingers? And I love this pencil idea.
Do you
I,
see
th
the
I think
notches in it too?
I
Yes.
think pencil is perfect. I think that's my third one. I think after a time it will break because you have so much power here, and then it will break. So I have now the opportunity that I have so much time and I don't need too much power. Maybe the light is a little bit too much. Okay, maybe I can try. No, I don't getting it better. And now I can look that it's perfectly closing, and I can do it with my thumbnail, pressing a little bit, going in the left and the right way. And when the phone is ringing, I can do it off, and then again, and I've all the time I want, only 2 or 3 times, and after that, it perfectly fits.
Is this where you get the blades snuggled down in this?
Yes, I look for it that it's perfectly. Normally it on their own it works on their own, that the blades are shifting inside, that the one side is going to the other, and then I hold it with one hand, and I'm doing the clamp off. It's very easy again because it's when I pull on the string, it's weak. I don't need the clamp anymore. Zack. It's off now. And then I jump over and going down. And then you can go over the string which are on the table. And I'm going down till I don't see the cane anymore. No. Okay. So, and now I try to hold it, that it's strong.
Mm-hmm.
I cut it off. So I show it to you again. Do like this. And then you can go over the string. I show it to you. Can you see it?
Oh, that's so cool. I know what you're gonna do. Ha!
You have this, and then you you have a perfectly knot, because you don't have to use glue or something. We have this way. Maybe I can, so we can see it very good. I have here a string, it's going here, going under this, it comes out here. This is one string. And the other one is here. And now I'm going from the down inside, the down inside, and then I can pull here. Not perfectly at the moment. So I can pull here. And now I have the knot, I think, Knoten, under this. You can see it.
That's such a great knot. It's so elegant.
And I don't need Nagellack, nail
polish.
nail polish. I don't need nail polish or glue or something. You can cut it off and it's perfectly. So, and it don't get off or something.
See, he cuts off the tails, guys.
Yes, I cut it always off.
I knew you were going to say that,
Yeah,
Jeanine.
you did. I don't like reeds that have tails.
Yes, when the tail is too long, you can maybe a little bit with a lighter, but you have to be careful, and then can't see it, but not too much because then it's open again. So that's my method.
Explain once more how you get the one blade to sit inside the other one.
One blade inside the other. I look when maybe I start with another shape. I think showing is better than talking. At first, a little bit thinner because it's better on the staple. You don't have the steps. A little bit. Only this for the step.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so important. And when I do this, I have the mark from the Fasson Schneider, from the machine. That's very practical for me. And then when I do this, I look which side is going into the other, which side wants to go to the other, because we don't want to force the cane too much. And there's always one side who wants into the other. And when I have it, I hold it, and then take the clamp, and then one side is into the other. Maybe you can see it, it's a little bit hard. Here, this side is in this side. I think it's very hard to see this.
And do you always put the wire on so that you're pulling, so that it's on that side?
No, I think that's not important.
Okay.
Because you can do it. The heating mandrel is all the same on both sides, and then you can, when you do it on the staple, maybe the staple there is one side which are a little bit other than the other. I think you know this. I show it. On a staple, there's a side which had a more curve than the other two. You know this?
I don't think I ever paid attention to that. You're saying the oval is not symmetrical, top to
Yes.
bottom?
Not really. There's a little bit difference on each staple. Maybe you can see it sometimes, and maybe sometimes not. I think there is a little bit staple not perfectly round here. You can see it so much. Maybe I can look my staples where you can see it better. Chiarucci is very perfect, I think.
Just a warning, it is now 6:53, so about 7 more minutes.
Okay, no problem.
I
I
can
think,
stick around. Let's see here. There's some questions here.
yes, okay, maybe questions?
Yeah, Adam Shapiro is one of our Oboe Readmasters, and he's joined on. He's
Hello,
on right
Adam.
now. And he had asked where to place the wire clamp initially, which he did explain actually, because I asked the exact same question. He said
Okay.
it doesn't really, it's not a precise thing, Adam. He said it's
Yes. I only do this so the clamp is going on without need too much power. I think do it on and a little bit down with a nail. And I think that's the perfect point.
So you didn't change the size of that wire after you did it. You didn't change the wire at all after you slid it onto the cane, right?
No, I don't change the wire.
Okay.
I think it's not so important. When you have I can do the mandrel inside. When the mandrel is hot and you have the clamp here and you drill it, then the cane is getting round, and when you have it here, it's getting round too. I think this 2 or 3 millimeters doesn't matter because mandrel is hot and the cane is wet and it will get over. I think it's not so important.
Not a precise art.
Yeah.
Vic is holding one up. Let me spotlight his video. We can have a quick look.
Yes. Oh,
So David, if I'm seeing cracks,
yes.
is that because it was not hot enough, or not wet enough, or both?
I think it was not wet enough.
Okay.
Because when it's too dry, then the cane cracks. It's not
Okay.
so tragic because when it only cracks under the clamp, you can go with the string over it, and it doesn't matter. When it cracks over the cane over here, then the reed is destroyed. Here sometimes I had a crack too, and I use it.
Mm-hmm.
It's no problem when you have a crack
Under
here.
the thread.
Under the thread, yes, under the thread was the right word. When you have it under the thread, it doesn't matter. But over the thread, it's a problem, I think, because then it's not, it's leaking, I think. But it looks good. Which mandrel do you have? Because it's a very long thing, I think.
Wait, we gotta unmute himself.
Yes.
I took a student staple.
Yes.
Took the cork off, and this is their hemostats for surgery.
Yes,
and
perfect.
So I just put it inside, and it clamps, so I can hold it without burning my fingers.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a very good method.
And then try this, but very, very dirty.
Yes, because this is a problem with a lighter. I think the oil lamp or the gas lamp is better.
Yeah, I just didn't have one handy.
No problem.
What is it? Can you tell us? You don't have to look it up now, but maybe post in our forum what your blowtorch thing is.
Blowtorch? You mean this, or what do you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
With this, I think this is a Lötkolben. In Germany, you normally use it when you do the
Löt.
when you do your
It's for soldering,
your heating.
It's for soldering.
Yeah, soldering. Löten is soldering. Yeah.
Soldering.
When you do your water pipes, then you use this. When you have a Kupfer water pipe too, that's a normal use for this.
What kind of oil would you use in an oil lamp? Because this oil that I use in my Aladdin lamp, it turns everything black.
Yes. Okay. Then I have to ask my instrument builder, because he uses for the oboe thing. Maybe I can ask which oil is the best for not getting dark, because
I think
there it's very important on.
I think
on
we
the
went
oboe.
to a camping store once, and there's different kinds of oil for oil lamps. And so I think there's a very clear burning white oil that you can buy for those lamps. And then there's a very cheap oil that you can buy for the lamps. So I think if you go to the stores where you buy the lamps, you can find different types of oils. And some are very clear.
Smoke, and it's
Okay.
called smokeless lamp oil. That's exactly what it's called. Probably naphtha, N-A-P-T-H, N-A-P, N-A-P-H-T-H-A, naphtha.
Yes.
But it's for lamps, no smoke.
Adam,
Okay,
by the
perfect.
way, Adam, you're writing only to me, so I'm just going to read what you wrote. You have to change that. So if you, there we go. He's written it to everyone now. The alcohol lamp. Yeah, I've heard about that. The
Yes, but
alcohol lamp.
alcohol, it's very dangerous, because when you go with your hand on it and it go over your table, everything is burning. And with an oil lamp, you don't have so much risk. I think that's alcohol lamp. It's very dangerous, because then everything is burning when there's something doing wrong.
I guess is it because it's more liquid? The oil
Not
is.
more liquid. It burns so fast. I think that's the point. So
Okay.
I think this is a little bit risky too.
It's really frightening.
So maybe a normal oil lamp is for the beginner.
Yeah, actually, if you get there are alcohol lamps that are meant for the laboratory that are sealed, and so even if you knock them over, nothing comes out. It's just the only entry, the only place that the alcohol can go is on the wick. It's perfectly safe. You just have to get a good one.
Ah, perfect. Thank you. No, then no, it's no problem. Thank you, Adam.
Adam,
I'm laughing because I work in a chem lab. We don't use alcohol lamps anymore. Anymore.
So
I want to ask Angelika how she is her method. I think she told us that she doing it too, the heating method.
Yes, I only I take the mantle and only warm up. I take a candle and make it hot 1 centimeter above the flame, and then I put the mantle shortly in water, and then it's only warm, and I put it in the cane.
Oh, okay. And then you don't have the problem that the cane is heated too much inside?
Yes, it's not so stable. It's I can make it round. It's flexible.
Okay.
Perhaps flexible for you. I think it's a very good system because what you have because it's I think the leaking problem I have it, and when it's hot on your way, perhaps it moves away. I will try it. Thanks.
Yes, try it, because when you have on your method you have the problem that you can't put. Jeanine, can you just get my screen big again?
Yes.
When you have because on the top of the normal mandrel you have the problem that it's a very tiny curve. And when you're going down, you have a more bigger curve that fits perfectly to the staple. I think that could lead to the point that the sides of the cane perfectly fits to the staple, so that it's that the closing is better. I think when you do it here, you have the closing, I think, a little bit too much in this way. I think when you have the perfect thing like the staple is, you have the opportunity that it's perfectly for the staple. But maybe try it, and I'm really interested in the results, if it's getting better for you.
Angelica, when you use the candle and you dip it in water, does it still make the tss sound?
It's important, and it's the right temperature.
Okay.
Yes. I think it must be this sound, because then you know that it's hot enough.
Yeah.
I think, but not burn the cane. That's very important too.
Okay.
David,
Yes.
17.
when you use just the staple, like the staple without the cork, do you
Yes.
have to heat it longer than the mandrel so that it stays hotter because it cools very quickly?
No, I think it's a little bit shorter for me. I tried this before, and the first time I tried it with the staple method, I had the problem that I burned the cane, because I did it the same way like I did it on my heating mandrel. Yeah, I need a little
Oh,
bit
okay.
more longer, but I don't know if it's because I don't know what this metal is. Maybe this is a stronger metal, which needs more
Okay.
time to heat. I think you have to try a little bit around. Yes, I think after you burnt it, you know it was too long, and then you don't do it like this anymore.
Then do it shorter.
Yes. I think it's a trial.
Okay.
And Jeanine is writing down a little bit.
I'm just writing a little bit about the shape that you use, the Hörtnagel 17.
Yes.
Just get Abby, just as comparison. So the -1 that you and I use has a middle width of 7, so it's at 10 millimeters at 6.88. And to compare, just the very tip, the Hörtnagel is 7.4 at the middle, at the tip basically, and 7.02. So it's a lot wider. And the lowest part, so 34 millimeters back, the RDG -1 is 4.08, and the Hörtnagel is 3.94. It's a wider shape.
Yes.
Quite a wide one.
It's not the widest shape, but I think it's a wide one.
17.3. Angelica, I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
I've now tried 17.3. Is it this? Or is there only 17?
There are different age 17. On the list of Hörtnagel, there are 3 age 17 Fasson shapers you can find. I use the age 17, which is from Reeds and Stuff.
Okay, that's the one I was reading. That's this one, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The problem is that you can't really say which one is it on the list, because the measures are not the same. When you look on Hörtnagel, there are other points than Reeds and Stuff, and he did this because he don't want to get in struggle with Hörtnagel.
Oh,
because you can name his Fasson only age 17. Everybody knows it's Hörtnagel, but you don't have the same measures, so Hörtnagel can't do something to him, so can't say something. I think that's the point.
3. Yes, I see. So the Spitze, the very, very tip of the 3 that you're talking about, Angelica, is 7.3. And what did I say it was? Did I say the same thing? What did I say it was? 7.04. So it's closer to 7. That would be the 17.0. I think what he's using. Maybe that helps. I'm using his book, guys, so I have to say this book is really, really handy. Did I already say that?
Thank you, Jeanine.
So Udo's shape copies tend to be slightly wider all around than the originals, Adam says.
Yes. what is very important is when you have a machine, shaping machine, only buy the metal things, not the chopper schablon, because the chopper things are getting thinner in the way. That's very important. When you use it like 100 times, then it's thinner after it. When you have a chopper one, it's going thinner and thinner and thinner.
I can clarify just for the English speakers. When you buy the Phasenform from different manufacturers, some are made from stainless steel, some are made from brass.
Yes, brass is the right word.
And there is I won't, tell you which shop is which, but the brass ones, yeah, you're right. They change really easily over time, and they're a little bit cheaper, but they're really not worth it because after you use it, like you say, 100 times, it's sort of useless. So stick with the stainless ones. Not to give Udo any more business, but they're really the best manufactured ones.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Adam.
Okay, any last questions, everyone? We do get to see David again.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to your tries and to your results on your rebuilding.
I must say you make a really strong case. It's I consider myself pretty psychotic about a good seal. Or how do you say it? Pretty crazy. I'm pretty neurotic. That's the word I'm looking for. Pretty neurotic about a good seal. I feel like that's just very central to success of playing the oboe. Just a real advantage of playing.
I think there are a lot of methods you can do it. For me, it's a very important thing that it's perfectly sealed. Yes, and I think the reeds are so vibrating so good when it's perfectly sealed. That's the main thing on my reed building method. Because I don't like the things I have to do around.
Very good. Anyone else? Vic's already got some success going over there with the method.
Can I ask one last question?
Yes,
David, when you form the clamp, how big is the circle? Are you always making it the same diameter?
I use this on my mandrel. Maybe I can show it again for you. I showed it when you wasn't online.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I apologize.
No problem.
It's pretty early in the morning for Adam right now.
No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my measure. I don't know how big it is.
Okay.
I think that's a feeling. When you have a little bit thinner, you can't push it so on the cane.
You don't tighten once it's on the cane. You just slip it on. You don't tighten like Jürgen. Correct me, Jeanine, if I'm wrong. Jürgen used to tighten the clamp after he slid on. Yeah.
Yes.
Remember?
I think he uses a completely different technique. I'm not sure that has to do with the burning. I'm not sure if he tightens it at the burning point. I can't be 100% certain about that. I don't remember.
Did he heat the cane? Do you know it?
I can't. Yeah. I haven't seen him heat the cane in a long time.
Maybe he do it another way around. He first formed the cane with a clamp. And after heating it, that the cane is getting in the point, so it don't change after that. That's another way. I do it like I'm heating the cane and do it in the round, and then it's inside. But you can do it another way around. Do it in the form and then heating, and then it's the same way, I think.
Yeah. I don't think he has an actual mandrel that heats up. It's like electric, so he doesn't have to heat the mandrel then do it. It's one of those, like, it's an electric one. He plugs it in, and so
Lötkolben.
Yeah.
In Germany, it's Lötkolben.
Lötkolben. That's what he uses, and I haven't seen him wrap a reed in so long. He's done it freehand when I've seen him do just quick ones in the shop. So, but most of the wrapping is outsourced.
Yes, I think.
And so I haven't seen him do it in a long time, but I don't think he does. I can't say 100%. I don't think he does tighten the wire, Adam. I don't think he does tighten it. I think it was, the way I've seen it is similar to how David has done it. In fact, I learned it from Martin Letz. He's a solo oboist in Mainz here in the Theater. And he taught it to me with a bit of thread. Just he wraps it with a bit of cotton thread, and that's how I learned to do it. So but the wire is good. I have seen Jürgen prepare those wires though. He'll prepare like 100 wires once, you know, or 200 wires, so he doesn't have to.
I think it's very hard when you do 200 in once. So I do it always in front of the next step, do the wire and then do it, because doing it 200 times is very very hard, I think. But maybe you look TV and then doing 200.
I do recommend.
You need to get your students to do it. That's the punishment.
Yes, that's a great idea, Adam. Thank you.
Honestly, I did it one time when I was working for Credo. I did like 100 wires. I'm really good at it now, so it's worth it to do it once.
Maybe you can sell it.
Yeah, exactly. A soldering iron, yeah. There we go. All right, everybody. I have a student coming in a few minutes, so I'm going to open it up for one more round of questions and then wrap it up. Any other questions? If you want to watch it again, this is going right into the live stream, so it's already in the Facebook group. And I've seen David kind of wandering around in our group, so you can tag him. If you don't know how to tag someone, you can use the @ symbol and start typing their name. And usually Facebook will complete it. And that means that they will be notified. That's how I've done that with you guys. So if I'm going to do like this, I'll say, if I want Abby to be tagged, I'll type that, the @ sign and Abby. And so it will automatically make that link so that Abby gets a notification that I've tagged her. And I think most of you have figured that out. But David has no obligation to join us at all in in our Facebook forum, but he's been lurking around. So
when you have questions, post it and I will answer. No problem. So ask me something when you have questions or problems with the burning method in the next week. So I'm here and I have time because orchestra is now not in Corona times.
David, this was a marvelous, I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say this was a really, really fantastic demonstration. It was very easy to understand on my screen and to see how to do this, very detailed, and I really appreciate it. Thank you all of you so much for spending this time and attention with us, with David. And David, thank you for spending your time to prepare and execute this. And there's
Thank you very much.
my
Thank you.
So
yes, thank you. I have my mandrel, my old mandrel ready with my staple on it without a cork. So we're gonna try it this week.
Perfect.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes,
See you.
take care. Bye.
Thank you very much,
Bye-bye.
David.
okay, thanks everyone. See you tomorrow.